If you'd like to purchase Magic Online cards at competitive prices, check out our web store at mtgoacademy.com/store.
Hello everybody, Planet Walls here. We are back for the first round of Classic Quarter Classic League 2014 Qualifier Tournament number 1. I have not qualified for the Invitational yet. This is the deck I'm playing, though you can check that out in the deck list video. Certainly running some Unplayable cards. Oh yeah, and this is playing the Unplayable on Mtgo Academy. Trying to make a slight effort to brand that a little more, tiny bit. Anyway, so we were about to play against the Crisp one, and we will get that started momentarily. Oh man, I almost want to restart this recording, but I won't momentarily. Alright, I have sent out the invitation to our opponent, the Crisp one, so I fully expect him to accept that moment. This is the deck he is playing. He is playing, if I recall correctly, the only Oath list in the tournament, which is interesting because Oath used to be probably the most dominant deck and a fan favorite, down to a deck that isn't played very much. I will go over his list a little bit in a moment. Something I want to share briefly and express is that you may be hearing a high-pitched whine in the background of this. Hopefully not, because I have hopefully been able to edit it out, or YouTube has taken care of it. I normally use a different mic, but today I basically sat on it when it was in my backpack and broke it. So that made me really sad, and I have to use my backup mic, which is actually much nicer, but I haven't quite configured the hardware and software to record optimally. So enough talk about that mic, right? Essentially, there could be a high-pitched whine. However, I have eBayed another one, and it should be arriving shortly. Apparently, the $20 mic works better with Cam Studio than the nice one with a pop filter, which also might be so sensitive that it's picking up the refrigerator and the computer fan every once in a while, but anyway. It looks like our opponent is taking a little bit more time, so I'm going to go over his deck list, and that's what we'll do right now. So he's got Blightsteel and Emrakul for his 2 creatures. He's got the standard package of 4 Brainstorm, 4 Force, so something to keep in mind is how many blue cards he has. He also has 4 Mental Misstep, which is okay against us. It can counter 5 spells, some of which are important. Not really. It's not that big of a deal, but they can be pitched to Force. He's got 4 Lotus Petals, which goes with 22 lands to make 26 mana sources for the sake of ramping. He's playing what's called the GG Oath variant because it runs a Dragon Breath, which means his guys might be able to just crash in for the win as soon as they're oathed up. He's also got 2 Spell Pierces, which are pretty terrible against me, though they also can be pitched to Force. Nature's Claim is also probably pretty terrible. Alright. Looks like we're heading in there. What is happening? What's happening? What's happening? Alright, where the hell is this? Why is it doing this? Sometimes I'm like, local text deck, and it's like... Alright, so Moto is currently breaking. I guess we'll take that out, figure that out in a minute, and I'll see you guys in the match. Alright, we're back, finally. Moto had just briefly bugged out, and hopefully the mic is working effectively. We would like to play first in this matchup. This hand is okay. This card is fine in this matchup, this card is fine, and this card shuts down his main game plan. This is pretty shitty. Worth keeping in mind. And then we also have a card drawing engine to be able to pull ahead. So we're not going to mull this, but we want to see another white mana source very soon. I should go back to looking at his deck real quick. So this is a standard Oath deck. He also has these 2 Thoughtseize, which, nope, we don't need to bring that up. Those are actually going to be decent to us because they can remove this Hussar. He's got some Tutoring Engine, a Jace, Mana Crypt, and Sol Ring for additional mana sources, and then the Time Vault and Tinker Plans. So this is a pretty standard Oath deck. It's choosing to run a couple of Thoughtseizes. He's playing 3 Wasteland, 1 Strip Mine, and 3 Libraries. Now, one of the real threats is him being able to library extensively, so we hope he won't be able to do this. I don't know what this is about, but I'm pretty sure Orb Weaver is a card from Kamigawa block, so that's fine. The question is, do I want to drop this first or this first? Because if he has Strip Mine, I could be royally screwed here, but the odds of him having Strip Mine are pretty low. And so I'm just going to run out the plains and nothing else. If he's got a Misstep, that's fine. I guess he can Brainstorm it back on top of his deck, which is a problem. Let's take a sip of coffee, because that's what I needed. 8:03 p.m. So if he strips this turn, I guess I'll be sad. I think in his interest, it's not very likely for him to strip. Yeah. He's got to crack that soon, because if I'm able to land Leonin Arbiter, it puts him in a bit of a bind. If I play the Leonin Arbiter and he doesn't crack this turn, it could very likely mean that he has to crack it in response, making his Brainstorm a little bit less effective. So I'm probably going to do that. I guess we're running one Arid Mesa, so maybe I don't want to drop my own Leanin' Arbiter. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Weathered Wayfarer makes... Wish I would have had that in my hand last turn. If I'd been on the draw this game, that would be much better. Alright, so I think what I'm actually going to do here is cast Thalia. I think that that's right. We only have, like, one card in our deck. This one Swords that this affects. So it's pretty good for us. I take it that what he's going to be doing is just brainstorming right now, because he has to do it before Thalia lands. That would have been probably the same play he would have made with Leanin' Arbiter. This way, I suppose he's able to shuffle with another fetch land. So, in that way, I may have just lost an opportunity to mana screw him. Because if he's got another fetch right now in his hand, he wouldn't be able to crack it if I played the Leanin' Arbiter. So we need to keep this in mind as a potential misplay I just made. Fishy fellow, if you're watching this, I need you to... Oh, he just countered it. Okay, what did he pitch? I kind of want to know. A Jace. Alright, so our Thalia just dealt that Jace, this Wasteland. Oath. Okay, let's hit, I would love to hit a white mana here. We did not hit a white mana. So I can't play anything. That's pretty bad. If we hit white, he can't target us with Oath. And I don't want him to be able to Oath. Yeah, let's ship this turn. So, any turn he gets to live is bad for me. Brainstorm, so he's probably looking for a Forbidden Orchard. If he gets one, it very much becomes time to start crashing all our guys onto the table anyway, and then we just have to survive whatever happens first. Not seeing another white, I knew I would pay the price for having this Tower of the Magistrate in my deck. The reason it's there is because, I mentioned this in the decklist video, I believe, it's supposed to be able to knock, like, Batterskull off things, including Germ Tokens, which it works very well at, and it has some purpose in the artifact matchups as well. But no deck in the format is actually playing a Batterskull or anything. There aren't any equipment-based decks, so it's pretty much dead. I wish I could board it out for, like, a Plains. Okay. That's probably going to be a Forbidden Orchard, or, I don't know, maybe a Strip Mine. Yeah. Let's find a Plains. Wasteland is not what I was looking for. Okay, so if he Forbidden Orchards... Do I want to be able to kill the Forbidden Orchard? Or are we basically just depending at that point on being able to drop some of these other things? Like, Leanin' Arbiter would have been great to land, but I obviously can't play that until I play the True Believer. I could just drop this right now. Like, what could he have looked for? He could have looked for something to tinker with. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is destroy the... see, he's got Nature's Claims. I think the Tutors are still more dangerous. Let's look real quick to see what black gives him versus... Like, it gives him Thoughtseize. And green gives him Nature's Claim, which we don't really care about very much. And the ability to play Oath, which... No! Oh, God. Oh. Okay, well, we just lost our Wasteland. That's what happens when I start thinking too hard. Oh, he's got a library. Well, that couldn't have been what he just searched for. Well, we just lost. And we definitely wouldn't have lost that turn. Alright, so that's GG. Let's see what we would have drawn here. If it was been a... would have been a white mana source. So, would have lived another turn. Would that have mattered here? I don't think so. I think he would have won the game anyway. That's depressing. Alright. So, let's look at his sideboard real quick. What's he going to bring in? Leyline doesn't do much. Nature's Claim doesn't do much. He'll bring in the Abrupt Decays. Maybe the Hurkyl's Recall for my Chrome Mox. Maybe Ancient Grudge, probably not. Maybe a Diabolic Edict or a Liliana. Both are pretty mediocre. Okay, so I think we've got the better sideboard here. We don't bring this in. I don't really care about this thing to destroy his oaths. That's pretty lame. Banisher Priest is nuts against him. This is not very good. This is pretty mediocre. Actually, Sora sideboard kind of sucks against him. That's okay. Peacekeeper actually creates a situation where he can't necessarily win in a lot of circumstances. Do you want to cut the Weathered Wayfarer? I guess Swords is pretty crappy. It can deal with Blightsteel, but I've already got so much, I don't know, redundancy there. Mother of Runes is pretty okay, actually. I mean, this is just another way of answering some stuff, so maybe it's worthwhile. But I feel like Banisher Priest is just better. And I'm kind of comfortable with the way that this is set up. We've got so much hate against him, I would really like to win this matchup. Alright, so here we go. What could happen very quickly? I don't want to drop that Chrome Mox yet. That's what I think, because I'd like to start drawing cards first. So the first thing I'm going to try out, I'm not going to dump the True Believer onto the board. He mold. I'd like to get 8.5 Tails on the board first. So, or actually Mother of Runes does pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to do that now. We'll see if this gets misstepped or something. I didn't think it would. This is interesting. I think it's probably just bad. Worse than a Plains. Right now I'm really feeling awful that it's not a Plains. Alright, so he's going the library route. That's interesting. Cavern is great, so we're going to name probably Cleric here. Yeah, I think that's what we do. And then we're going to try and blow up his library as quickly as possible with Dust Bowl, I guess. Okay. So we'll name Cleric, and we'll make a True Believer, which can't be countered, and it can be protected by Mom. But the question is, can he kill it anyway this turn? So, do I want to attack with Mother of Runes? Because, no, he could play a Lotus Petal. He could Abrupt Decay with a land and a Lotus Petal. So let's not do that. Let's leave our guy back. Next turn, we get old 8.5 down. He's going to start drawing a million cards, like I said. I think we're just going to have to deal with that. True Believer will start getting in there, but it's pretty unexciting. Thoughtseize won't even be able to target us. That's pretty cool. So, I think he's trying to cast it right now. Unless this is an Imperial Seal. Yep. Nice. So he just tried to cast Thoughtseize on us, and I feel pretty good about that. I like that. I like playing with these guys. These classic guys are great. I am not going to be drawing a card this turn because Mom is way too valuable to keep untapped. So we won't be doing that here. We'll just be drawing a single card as opposed to two. Wow, that Chrome Mox is terrible. And our creatures are worth more than they would be if they were mana, even though I could start Dust Bowling them very soon. Like, I could dump a Chrome Mox, put it on the Sky Hussar or 8.5 Tails, and then just start Dust Bowling the crap out of them. And then I would just sacrifice the Plains. That almost seems horrible. Maybe that's worth it. Maybe I blow up the colored mana source, and I just continue blowing up every colored mana source he has for the rest of the game. Well, first things first, we're attacking with True Believer. I don't want him to be able to brainstorm, but he could do that in response anyway to put the Thoughtseize back on top. Alright, so let's get in there here. And so the question is, do I dump a Dust Bowl and try to wreck something this turn, or do I set up to draw millions of cards? And I think the Dust Bowl has to be the right option. So the first thing we do is we cast a Chrome Mox, which, you know, isn't the best card here. And I'm definitely going to pitch an 8.5 Tails, even though it's pretty cool. So we just need to draw another creature to make this happen. Then let's play the Dust Bowl, and then we destroy this right away. and I blow up a plains. And next turn I can do that again if another Chrome Mox resolves, though I'm not sure I want to keep multiple Chrome Moxen on the field. Vamp Tutor. Is he going to find a land? Actually, what I really have to worry about at this point is just a Vault Key, I think. That's what I'm most scared of. I mean, maybe he looked for like an Abrupt Decay. I'm not sure. This game... okay, so he's going to crack the... Yuck. Is this going to be Tinker? Because then I just like picked the wrong land to kill. I mean, he could have just found another blue land for the Vamp Tutor. Okay, so he kills the Cavern. Yuck. Alright. So we need to find a way to answer this, like, right away. Alright. So I think what I do is here I mean we can make another white mana, so we don't have to worry about that. But he could counter something, which I suspect is why he killed the Cavern. Might not be though. But then if I don't draw anything, I lose this. So the alternative is to let this attack and I eat it, and then that seems worse. Yeah, we're doing this. So we're drawing 2 cards this turn. Let's... that's not very good. Alright, so I think we just lost round 1. That kind of sucked. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think, like, getting mana screwed last game was a big problem. In this game, I don't know. Do I feel horrible about this? I don't feel that horrible. This sort of thing can happen. I can't get out of this situation right now. So, I mean, we'll just be funny real quick. I guess I could I have seen one more card had I blocked with a True Believer? No, I wouldn't have. Because then I wouldn't have the 2 creatures. Right now we're just having fun making him nervous. Because he doesn't know what the last card is in our hand. So I'm going to act like it's something else. Alright. GG's, Chris won. I'm going to reveal my hand. We just lost to, like, Blightsteel. Bummer that we drew, like, a 1 toughness guy there. Alright, so let's see what we would have gotten. Another Sky Hussar. Actually, I would have been able to probably cast this after drawing another... that didn't make any sense. Alright, so I will see you guys for round 2. And unfortunate loss from the Fishy Fellow style deck, which I've made worse by putting in lands like Dust Bowl instead of Plains. So I guess we determined that that was the case, and I will see you guys next time.